Hey, how's it going, everybody? Greedofan111 here. Today I've been asked by Busta Grep to to cover a certain topic. Today we're not doing anything Star Wars related. Instead, we're actually going to be covering the the Rift Cinematic Universe tier list, Iceberg tier list. Um, Now, if you don't know how tier lists work, they basically go from like up at the top is like someone who's new, not really part of the fandom, who might know like some of the videos, and then it just like it goes down to like more into the fandom, and then like the bottom is like the most hardcore fans know like these titles. Um, anyway, let's get started. So up here at the top, we've got where people who aren't really in the fandom will just sort of know. I mean, these are just like household titles: Brainiac Begins, Axel Blaine, Indigo Sunset, and Tort Twist. These are classics. Brainiac Begins is sort of like like a vigilante kind of thriller. Isn't he evil sort of type deal. Axel Blaine, Indigo Sunset, sort of spy mystery thriller. Um, Tort Twist, that one is sort of a courtroom thriller. These are all just sort of classics if you're into film at all, really. So that's why we've got this guy. Um, Now one level down, that's the tip of the iceberg. These are you're just getting like actually into the fandom. You've seen the classics, and you're really getting into it more. You're gonna probably start watching. You're gonna have seen Roman Romance 2 and Rise of the Reds. Um, these ones are classics in the fandom. These ones you'll sometimes put on. Even if people haven't really seen them. They're just super good. Roman Romance 2 is sort of like a Roman story about the rise of Augustus Caesar. Rise of the Reds is sort of civil rights era flick. Um, Anyways, moving down, you get down below the surface of water, and these are okay, these guys actually are in the fandom like for real. Like they're not just at the tip anymore. And here we've got Latin Project. Um, this one's a classic from back in the day. One of their first films. Um, this was actually the prequel to Roman Romance 2. It actually came out first. It's about Petronius and Livy and their sort of, like what they were doing behind the scenes. Um, and then down here we also have The Watch. Now this one was like the first Riff film. This is like sort of what started the lore. It's like a time travel. They've got like a watch that sends them back in time, and they have to, they have to figure out like what's going on and who's trying to kill them. Um, but yeah, that one's just a complete classic. You're not really in the fandom if you haven't seen, um, either of these. I mean, let alone The Watch is just, such a good one. Anyways, moving down, we've got, deeper in the fandom. You're starting to look like this guy a little bit. Um, Now this is where you're really getting into like the true art, the ups and the downs. Shadow Stories Origins, just a total, you know, like a testament to the power of world building and storytelling, just as a genre of art. Um, you know, this is just this is basically how artists learned what film could be after Shadow Story Origins. It just sort of inspired filmmakers everywhere to just sort of step up and really like tell good stories. Um, and Shadowhunters, this one's a little bit of a kookier one, really just like more for the fans, really just dealing out that fan service on this one, sort of like getting some lore and some backstory, you don't really get with some of the other ones. But it is a little bit out there, so that's sort of why it's down so low. Um, Anyways, moving down, We've got, now this one's really just for like some hardcore fans. Secret Hitler, this one really is sort of what divides, like the posers from the people who actually enjoy these films. Um, this one has, it's more sort of deep lore, backstory stuff with twists and turns that no one ever really sees coming, even watching like the second and third time, I mean, I know, like I never see the twist coming when I watch this. Um, just a total classic. This one, sort of follows a boy who somehow ended up in the possession of the watch from this film, and it sort of, kind of uncovers some secrets that you see later in some of the films. Now going down here, this is actually, so this tier here, this is, sort of deep dark lore. Some people don't even really consider it canon. These ones actually, are unreleased films that are sort of, hidden or lost to time. All the ones, this one and below. I personally like to think of them as canon, as happening in universe, but they're more like extended universe films. This one is the unreleased Shadow Stories 2, A Song of Shadow and Flame. That was filmed around 2019, but never really came out. And now German Siege is actually a cult classic for those who were able to watch it before it was taken away. But yeah, you see we're getting down to the deep dark depths of like sort of the fandom here. And now here's the next level. These ones are really just like the hardcore fan films. In fact, actually only one of them is filmed, this one here. She Came From Under My Sewer. This one was taken away just for, controversy reasons. It was their first ever horror film, and their only one to date, really. And audiences just thought it was too scary. They were just like crying in the theater when they saw this one. It was just like offensive and disturbing, and it just really like kind of a feel bad film, just kind of, you walk out of the theater just not feeling good, like actually sick to your stomach because of how scary it is. And now this one is actually, this one here is actually not a film. This is actually a blooper reel from the watch, and it was just kind of like cursed footage. You're really not supposed to watch it because of, it's like if you watch it, like kind of bad things happen. So that's why it's down here on like the scary tier. But yeah, so that's basically like the tier list. Oh wait, except there's actually one more tier, the enlightened tier. The only film down here is CI Awesome 2. This one actually is not a Rift film. This one actually came before the Rift, and even Busted Rep was made. It's called CI Awesome 2. It's sort of like a different, it's like a secret agent kind of film. It's really good. It's kind of really, really unknown, kind of like an underground one. Not a whole lot of people actually know that it's a part of the Rift canon, but it is. There's actually reference to it in Axel Blaine Indigo Sunset, at the end, at the after credits scene, sort of Easter egg. But yeah, so that's the tier list. That's the whole tier list. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for enjoying the tier list. Go ahead and leave down in the comments below which tier you've seen down to, and if you would ever like watch any of the unreleased films, or or if you've seen CI Awesome too. And go ahead, just drop in the comments below too, like which was your favorite film, and like how would you would rate it out of 10. And yeah. Thanks for watching. This has been Greedofan111, and go ahead, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the little ding bell. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.